6:30, and especially for our online folks to start on time. We had some technical difficulties, but we were able to make some adjustments, and so we're trying to project slides up on the screen.
Oh, doing slides. All right. All right. I'm behind.
So it's not as big as, the slides are as big as we'd like them to be. Minneapolis of Renee Good. It has me shook. I know that, and I'm sure the rest of all of you feel the same way. And I just didn't want to start the meeting without acknowledging this tragic event that happened today. And so if you could just take a minute and just think about that good young woman, 37 years old. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Okay, get our first slide up so we know what we're going to do next. There we go. My name's Trish Pritchard. I want to welcome everybody here. I know, do we have any people here for the first time? Awesome, welcome. I always like to point out that we welcome everybody here from all persuasions, all political beliefs. Everybody's welcome, and we really appreciate you spending your valuable time with us here today. We do have a really, really good social media, folks, with a lot of easy ways to stay in touch. One of the new ways is we have text alerts. Promise we won't spam you. It's basically a way to get reminders about meetings and upcoming events, and it's a handy way to keep up with what's going on. And we have a QR code that's available to get those alerts. And also, if you haven't registered to get information by email and online, we have a QR code to register with us. And then we have a link tree so that you can get on there and see all of our different social media accounts. Got our priorities straight.
Absolutely. Actually, we're doing pretty good. And I want to thank you all because we're doing good because of your contribution. Steady income coming. Expenses. We're starting.
Also want to thank Dennis and Jan for all of our snacks tonight. Thank you.
Except the brownies.
Oh, who made the brownies?
Lori does the brownies.
All right, Lori. Good job. Thank you. Okay, we try to, so I can use my brain. So I can use my brain.
The text is very, very, very small on there, but I got it.
Oh, for heaven. Oh, for heaven.
We
Yeah,
had,
you asked for the text to be up on the
you
screen,
asked for the
Lois.
text to be up. I didn't have time to make it into separate PowerPoint slides.
Well, all the mice in the room will be able to hurry up and see that.
We're gonna pay attention better.
I thought it might be helpful if you all could see what I'm I'm mostly gonna be reading this. I put it together today, but, I know I'm the kind of learner that I need to read something to really get it to stick. So I will kind of read it to you, and if you wanna look at the paper afterwards, feel free. So what's behind this? I felt like I needed, kind of a review on Venezuela myself, like just a little bit about the country and their recent past up to what's happening today and why, and going forward. So some of this is historical, just like 10, 20 years, not, 100 years. So, and I forgot to tell you, my name is Lori. So I'm starting with just some basic information. Venezuela is on the northern coast of South America. It's bordered by Colombia, Brazil, Guyana, and the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. It also includes many Caribbean islands. Its population is about 30 to 35 million. Its government is considered a presidential republic, but many would say that it's been an authoritarian regime for several years now. Since the U.S. intervention, the acting president is Delcy Rodriguez. She was the vice president under Nicolas Maduro. So no real regime change has taken place after the U.S. intervention and removal of Maduro. So a little history about Venezuela and Maduro. Venezuela was historically one of Latin America's wealthiest countries due to huge petroleum reserves. It had severe economic collapse in the 2010s and 2020s. They suffered hyperinflation, mass migration, and declining oil production. Nicolas Maduro was the vice president under Chavez. When Chavez died in 2013, Maduro was his successor, and he ran in a special election in 2013 with a narrow victory, and there was alleged election corruption with that election, 2013. Protests against Maduro and then economic collapse happened quickly after, and Maduro used security forces to crack down on dissent. So immediately not a popular man. In 2018, there was another election that was deemed fraudulent by international organizations, the EU, the US, and most of Latin America. Maduro then ran for his third term in 2024. The government barred Maria Machado. She was the leading opposition figure. They barred her from running. So the opposition united behind Gonzalez. Independent and international observers reported that Gonzalez won by a wide margin over Maduro. But the Venezuelan government-controlled Electoral College announced that Maduro was the winner. So massive protests erupted. Maduro's government again launched a huge crackdown on dissent. Maria Machado escaped the country and she remains in exile. You probably remember just recently she won the Nobel Peace Prize and she was all buttering up, to Trump. And, so you wonder if she was doing that because she wanted the backing of Trump, if she was indeed able, if he threw out Maduro, if she was able to come back to Venezuela, it would certainly benefit her to have Trump on her side. However, that did not happen. Surprisingly, Trump decided he didn't like her either. And he has, since said a lot of disparaging things about her. So she remains out, and the acting president is Rodriguez, the vice president to Maduro. So basically no regime change. It's important also to note that, listen to these, Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, and Cuba all backed Maduro. So that's what we're up against. As of noon today, Trump claims that the U.S. will run Venezuela. He says Venezuela will turn over 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S. and that he will manage the profit from this. The things is, that amount of oil sounds like a lot of oil, but it would basically fuel like about 2 days worth of U.S. consumption. And then Marco Rubio has since stated that the money would be directed toward the government transition in Venezuela, but they've given no details, of course, about how that would happen. And part of another, I don't know where this was in my talk, but well, let me go on. I have some of that down here. So Rubio says they'll use the money, to help Venezuela, of course. We're a very generous lot these days. There's no stated plan for the U.S. running of Venezuela. U.S. oil companies have not stated a plan to go to Venezuela and establish the ability to extract and refine the oil reserves, because this would seem fraught with problems. There is a meeting supposedly set up for Friday for the oil companies to meet about this, but apparently the problems in Venezuela with getting that oil, they say that the problems with the underground getting it, meaning, extracting it, getting it out for refining, all of that, while those are difficult, they're not nearly as difficult as the above ground problems, which mean getting your people there, making sure your people are safe, avoiding crime and corruption, getting the permits, trusting that whatever contract you sign will be valid in 5 years. There's such instability in the whole process that who knows, if they'll want to enter into this. But if there are big enough profits, they'll plow on through it, I'm sure. So the people of Venezuela are in limbo, and the instability puts them at great risk for several dangerous factions in the country. Now the power in Venezuela is fragmented across military elites, armed civilian groups, and foreign guerrilla organizations. These are groups that are numerous, heavily armed, and control territory in their country. Many act as large criminal organizations. So we have to ask ourselves, what has our government done? I have heard it reported that there were 24 Venezuelans killed during the action, and that there are 2 U.S. military members that are still being treated for injuries. And I haven't heard any other details about that. I don't know if any of you have. Don't seem to be saying much. Dan? Death toll more like 80. 70. It wouldn't be surprising when you see the destruction. All right, so what are the benefits and risks? A possible benefit is that Maduro was removed. He's been a corrupt and evil ruler, but his removal has his removal served any purpose that will benefit the people of Venezuela or benefit the people of the U.S.? There are many possible and serious risks from the intervention. A few possible risks are, number one, destabilization of the region and no defined end date. Venezuela could slide into chaos and have spillover effects in Colombia, Brazil, and the Caribbean. We've seen a bit of this today as 2 oil tankers were seized by the U.S. Another mess. Secondly, a risk of open-ended U.S. military conflict, which Trump said, promised he did not want to get us into. Thirdly, risk of increased internal fractures in Venezuela's military and political networks. 4, increased U.S. tensions with China. China is a major investor in Venezuela's oil and infrastructure. Now the U.S. has forced China to decide how it will protect its interests. 5, the action creates economic uncertainty here and globally. So was the removal of Maduro worth the risks? What we, IndivisibleMOV, agrees on is that we don't want war for oil. We haven't been convinced that it was worth the risk. So that's where our next planned action comes into play. We're planning on meeting this Saturday at 1 o'clock at the location we've had used before, parking at Applebee's and Hobby Lobby on Grand Central in Vienna, and then lining both sides of Grand Central. And the slogan is no war for oil. And I think Kim wanted to add a little bit because we're going to add on something else with that slogan after the incident today with ICE. So, and talk a little bit about rain. My app is saying like 50% of rain at 1 o'clock, but then at 2 o'clock, 0%. So if we go and it looks, we'll be there at 1, you know. If it looks like it's clearing up and we want to wait a few minutes, start at 1:30, that's fine. If we want to stand out there at 1, whatever, you know, we'll be there. We hope you can come. Bring your signs, bring your friends. Were there any questions that I didn't cover?
Are there any opportunities to make signs before the event?
Oh, yes, yeah, Friday, I just said that. Friday here, we're gonna have a sign making event, so we'll have all the supplies and everything here. You can bring your own supplies too. We're gonna be here, this will be open from 1 to 7. So we're gonna try to make signs not just for Saturday, but for upcoming events that we may have called rapid events. So we're going to make some generic signs that would work for a lot of different actions. So, and make the comment that yeah, signs, the bigger the better, brief, but to the point, you know, people driving by can only read a few words. Yeah, and face the tempted.
type of event. So, you know, we don't expect you to come at 1 and stay until 7. I think a couple of us will, with the supplies, will probably do that, but, you know, it's not, we don't expect people to come for 6 hours and hang out. Okay, couple of things. The Saturday, we're gonna go for 1 o'clock. We'll go to like 2:30, maybe later, if people wanna stay later, but we're not just protesting Venezuela, no war for oil. We are also going to, piggyback and do an abolish ICE. After what happened this morning, I feel like we really need to get out there with that message also. So we may try and bifurcate it where, you know, the first 45 minutes we concentrate on no war for oil, and then we get another set of signs out there, abolish ICE. Or we may do them both at the same time, but I think it's better if we stick to one message for one period and the second message for another period, because I think trying to do 2 messages at the same time might get confusing for people. So, we can play that by ear. Yeah.
Well, if we end up with 100 people there,
Yeah.
that'd be great. If we end up with a huge crowd there,
Yeah, we kind of have to play it by
tell
ear,
everybody to come.
depending on the turnout, the weather, how many signs we have for each thing, and so on. So that's the first thing, is this Saturday, rain or shine, okay? In the case of a severe weather event, which is not on the radar at the moment, but just for general information, anytime we have a severe weather type warning, then check Facebook to see if we've canceled it, okay? That's where you want to look for the cancellation. So that's Saturday. Then January 20th, there's going to be a nationwide Free America walkout. I don't know. How many of you have heard anything about January 20th? Okay. Not that many people. Okay. It's being sponsored by the Women's March, 5051, May Day, Strong. There's some other groups in there. Indivisible has not said that they are jumping in on it, but we don't have to wait for Indivisible to say that they're supporting for us to support. So whether there's pledges you can sign to join the walkout. It's like a strike. They want you to walk out of work. They want you to walk out of class, out of school. They want you not to stop. Basically, a day to just, you know, not participate in your usual activities. Now, that is up to you individually. I am not going to call for people to do that because you all know what your situations are and whether that's something that you can commit to or not. But what we are going to do is we are going to have an event, what is it, noon in Marietta on 7th and Acme, that intersection there where Kroger, McDonald's, gas station, and used car lot. We're going to set up on that corner with signage. We have already got made on signs of fascism, and we would like people to turn out. We've got some signs already made, but if you want to make your own signs, that's great too. But the focus is fight the fascist regime, fight the fascist takeover. So the focus is going to be on fascism. Okay. So that's the 2 upcoming events that we have scheduled right now. The third thing I want to talk about is something that we have known from the beginning that we needed, and we are finally just getting around to organizing it. We are going to set up a rapid response team. Looking in the crystal ball, as foggy as it is, I can see one thing, and that is this is only ramping up. Things are moving faster, and it's going to continue that way. Trump's approval rating is tanking. They are getting desperate, trying to cover up the Epstein files and detract from that. So they are just going to keep throwing things at us probably on a daily basis. We need to develop the ability to respond to those things. right now, about the quickest that we can really set up, protest is like 48 hours. And there's only myself and Lisa, who's him, that have been, trained on how to do this. It's not complicated, but there are places you need to post. There's a procedure you need to follow just to get people out, get the word out, and so on. So what we are looking at doing is setting up a team. We're having a meeting on the 14th, there's 4 of us, that we're going to develop the protocol, the standard operating procedure. And we are asking volunteers who will be willing to lead these protests. Now, we're not talking big rallies like in the park where you've got to line up speakers and have a safety team and, no. We're just talking about standing on the corner with signs, certified, okay? Couple of things that we've already determined is that there are going to be 2 standard locations. One of them will be where we're going to be Saturday, Grand Central, that intersection there where you park in the lot at Applebee's and that traffic light there. That's going to be one rapid response location. The other one is going to be where we're going to have the thing on the 20th up here in Marietta, Route 7 and Acme, that corner. That is going to be the other rapid response location. Now, how do you know which location to go to? Because only one of them will be active. Unless we get much bigger and have much bigger turnout, we're sticking with one location. So the rule of thumb is whatever the meeting location is for that month, that is the city that the rapid response will be in. So like this month, our meeting is in Marietta. So if we get ginned up and have rapid responses, they're going to be in Marietta this month. Next month, our meeting is in Parkersburg. So any rapid responses in February will occur at the other Grand Central location. So that's one thing we've determined already. We want volunteers. We want people. We need people to lead these things. And what we're hoping is that we have enough people that we'll have like a schedule. And you would be like on call for anything that pops up during a particular week, okay? And we try to hopefully have enough where we have at least 2 people designated. And so if something happened with one person, there would always at least be one person who could set something up real quick. So, if you're interested, it's not hard to set up one of these rapid responses. You just have to basically get the word out, alert the media, and make sure you've got signage, and that's about it. It's not that complicated. But there are certain, you have to know which sites, who to contact, how to get in touch with the media, or get in touch with our committee who gets in touch with the media, is what I should say. But, it's a simple process.
You're going to have a checklist. You're going to have a checklist.
We'll have checklists. We'll have it all written down. We'll have a standard operating procedure and a sheet of paper, and you can just go down through the list and check off the items. It won't be that hard, yeah. The 14th noon. I'm sorry, not the 14th. No, talking about the rapid response committee. We're just having 4 people do this. Right now, because you get too many people involved and it gets too unwieldy.
They're just coming up with their.
We're meeting on the 14th to come up with the procedures. Yeah, so. Right, and that'll be later to get our procedures ironed out, written down, and ready to go. Then we'll, but if you're interested in being one of those designated, people that could be one of these things, let me know or let Lisa Bamberlin know. You can text, email, call, grab a hold of us here in the meeting, whatever. I think I've covered everything. Are there questions?
Yeah, thank you. If the checklists are always at the same location, we're not really.
That
going, not like protest in the park, not like, we're gonna do this next week. Rapid response, we're talking, let's say,
24 hours.
48 hours for most. Much like some of the businesses do, they get the message out, and then on the courthouse, they're on this Tesla, they're at Tesla, they certain places that they go.
Would be great.
Yeah, if you want to,
We can add other things, but that.
well, it's,
Well,
it's not, because there's no sidewalk. You've got to have sidewalk. Yeah, right, and in order to get a permit, it's Harrisburg, they want an application that you're talking, yeah, yeah,
South side is
yeah. Yeah, but right now, those two locations get the most traffic, because y'all, this is the protest, traffic.
She's got a phone app.
Yeah, and so, those are the two locations that get the most traffic. Plus, yeah, it's in Vienna, but I mean, it does not go on Grand Central Avenue. Anybody? I mean, we all go through there at some point, so, yeah, those are good starting locations. Wait a minute, you have 20, you know, have the made with reflective that can spell out the message, but yeah, they're not because the range is 75 feet. Okay, that white line are here in Marion, but I feel like you need to get out there and test drive it.
Practice it.
Yeah, because there's no sense being out there and start signs. And now, as we move into the year, but right now, by the time people get off the bus, it's still dark or almost dark. So really hard to be effective out there.
but it's getting better today.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bill, you had a question?
My experience is if somebody complains because they're traffic on the sidewalk, then start walking in circles. Don't be stagnant. Just keep moving.
The law about protesting is that places for free speech, uh, sidewalks, public squares, that kind of thing. But the one rule is you cannot impede traffic. You can't interfere with people that want to use the sidewalk for the normal sidewalk purposes. So, be conscious of not, when you're out there, of giving enough room for people to be able to walk. And one thing that we all do, and I know why we do it, but we need to stop. We need to spread out. Because if people are driving by and all the signs are clustered together, they're not going to see some of them, and they're not, if they do see them, they're not going to be able to read that many signs. We need to stretch out. I know I'm guilty of it too. I use it as a opportunity to talk to people and socialize. So, but we need to be more effective about our businesses and always make sure that you are 90 degrees to the traffic. Your sign is aimed at the driver. Don't ever stand stand like this with the traffic going here, you wanna stand there with people driving by, see it yourself. Anybody, any other questions?
I love it. All right, I've lost where I am now.
Do I need to go back a slide, or is this?
No, no, very good. We've got, well, Sue Ellen's gonna talk to us here in a second. A reminder that the, next month's meeting is, it will be lighter next month, I promise, on your drive, is, in Parkersburg at the Judge Black Annex where we've been having it, same time. I also want to make note of this. We learned, and I don't know her, I know there's people in here that know her. There was oh gosh,
House fire.
the former pastor here at the church, her house burnt down. She lost everything. This was last week.
Friday, yeah.
And so they've started a GoFundMe for her, and we wanted to make sure, we put it out on Facebook, and after tonight, we'll roll it back out again. But there's a GoFundMe for her so she can try to build her life back again. It's really, really sad. And I wish I did know her, because she sounds like a wonderful person.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
I need to go
Well,
back.
no, I wanted Sue Ellen to go over the election, the West Virginia election stuff, and then we do have a handout for the hire. I forgot our breakout. You're right, I did. Back there. We have a breakout session for people to get a chance to talk to each other and actually get some good trouble, do some good trouble while you're sitting around talking. So at your tables, we've got some postcards for you to fill out.
Oh, wait, on this policy? Oh, wait, on this policy?
Send it, I didn't. Send it, I didn't. Just like she said,
It's just the first day.
well, see, you're not gonna have to go building down, it's just open. Very good.
I'll just sit that like that one.
So,
a breakout session back. People are filling out cards.
Frank, come on.
That Tony Democrat. Yeah. I know. People are still filling out postcards and then we'll get, yeah, they got. Take care. got people filling out postcards. Fierce leader, fierce service. Yeah. 29 people just was it's January, it's right after Christmas. Super exciting to turn out. It's also dark at like 5 o'clock. That's that. I love about pictures of like a guy fell asleep. Always it was the mayor. That was the thing. Like it's unreal to see that. But it's just you know like they all right now. And they don't. Well, I don't think. So this would go to Brian. I never. All right. What do we? All right, you need your full screen. Where are we going? Where are we going? Uh, all right, where am I going? All right, where am I going? I don't think you put a slide in there. I don't think you put a slide in there. Back up one to one. Back up one to one. Oh, okay. And then we do one song, and then we do one song, or we're doing the election. Maybe we're doing the election. Maybe. But it's just. Okay, we all, we do have a bingo game coming up, so we gotta get ready. Thank you all for your help with the postcards. Before we go on, we've got a couple of local issues to talk about briefly, but before we do that, Sue, I only want to go over the election info. And then, Mary B will talk about the, Ohio election.
With Mary B.
Mary B. Oh, that's a restaurant.
It's been a long week, folks. Election season is kicking off, can everybody hear me? There's some dates, I made a list, I have a copy, somebody might in the copy, somebody might in the social account. In West Virginia, and this is West Virginia, but I looked at the Ohio's, and they're pretty close. Candidate filing period starts January 12th. Must be registered to vote by April 21st. That's the two ballots. Start, you can ask for them January 1st and May 6th. And the ballots will be in March 27th, May 7th. Poll worker training is April 14th to April 16th. The last day to register to vote in the primary is April 21st. We also include changes in your registration. Make sure that you're current, you're in the right precinct before you go vote. Early voting begins at the county building on April 29th and runs from May 8th. Community sites is at the local fire stations and so forth that also have early voting May 5th and May 9th. Absentee ballots must be postmarked by election day, and with the recent interpretation of what postmark is, you want to make sure that you abide by that. Primary election day is May 12th. Yep. Stamp it at the post office if you're down to the wire, not just in. 14th and 16th. So general election. So if you know of somebody that's looking or thinking about running for office, you need to share this information. One of the best ways you can do that with County Against is having a candidate boot camp on January the 17th, from 8 to 11:30, I believe. It will be held at the Vienna Community Building. We'll have experienced candidates running this thing. One of them teaching campaign finance. We also have
others be talking about, um, how to get your N number, how to sign up for Act Blue, how to use the band to get canvassing numbers, and how to use the canvassing sheets to your best advantage. So it's something I highly recommend. We've done this. It's our first year doing it. We've held the training for like the last couple of elections. So we kind of got it down pat, even though it's Secretary of State's office keeps changing a little bit. So if you want one of these, come see me. It should
Do you guys have a printout for the syllabus of what you're doing for Saturday? What, yeah, or? Writing the whole thing.
Yeah, let's.
Alright, so February 4th is, as I said earlier, the deadline to declare partisan candidates. So Democrat, Republican, we don't necessarily have an independent listing in Ohio. So in that case, if you are an independent wanting to run, I think it'd probably be under the same thing. However, you could also be a write-in, and the deadline for write-in registration, sorry, I did have that. Write-in candidates February 23rd. So you got a little more than a month later to be able to do that. Let's see. Deadline for voter registration is April 6th for the May 5th primary. Make sure that if you know anybody that is not registered to vote, go hand it to the Board of Elections on Davis Avenue. That is your best bet to make sure it's in. So then early absentee voting begins April 7th. Again, county commissioner, we need county commissioners to step up. Also, if you're in Ohio and haven't heard, David Pepper, former Democratic chair, is running alongside Amy Acton for governor. Good combination, Dr. Pepper.
That's good, that's fun. That's funny, that'll be a good campaign.
I think so.
Trish, need your big screen again?
Thank you.
No,
Well,
yeah, okay, just to give you a brief update on local issues that are currently going on. There were several of us at the Parkersburg City Council meeting last night and spoke. We had a great crowd. It was a wonderful example of democracy in action. 21 speakers at the, this was on the move to privatize the trash pickup and the recycling. And we didn't prevail on the trash pickup, but we did get a 30-day, they tabled the recycle for 30 days, so that buys us some time to keep acting, because they are planning on closing down the recycling center. Yes. And if this goes through, they will close the recycling center, and by state law, they have to provide the option of recycling, and the contractor that the contract with Rumpke is going to charge so much money that people aren't going to recycle. You know, they're just not. So it's sad. It's really sad. Then there are a lot of people that were very passionate about their recycling last night. It was really good. And so we felt really good about that. We at least bought us about 30 days. So hopefully we'll be able to prevail. The other active issue are the injection wells. That's primarily the folks working on that are in Washington County, but it impacts everybody that lives in the Mid-Ohio Valley. Anybody that drinks water in the Mid-Ohio Valley should be actively engaged in the work they're doing with the injection wells. Does anybody here have any upcoming events for that or any information? We don't have anything right now. Well,
You can always call Dawn Hewitt at the UU office.
the UU office, Dawn knows everything going on.
She's very well.
And we try to post when they have, a meeting. They had a huge, over 200 people at the last meeting.
You can watch it online, the whole thing is online.
Excellent, very good. And, there are great people working on this, and everybody should get involved. So those are the
Now-
two,
The West Virginia legislature is gonna be up and running, right?
oh, yeah.
Yes.
I think next week, I think, and the bad idea factory, isn't that something? So I'm sure we'll have some excellent information coming out of that. Chris Miller?
The Miller,
Chris Miller's running for Senate.
Carol Miller's son.
Oh, good. Oh, we just can never have too many family members. Never have too many family members in West Virginia. Yeah. Anybody else have any local issues that we should be aware of that we can help support? We have a lot going on, there's a lot going on. So I appreciate you all being here, because the more people we can get involved, the more we can do.
Can I say something about this?
The next week's trash. Got info on my pickup?
Indivisible MOV, this is just people that are in Parkersburg that are concerned about the trash situation. We are going to have a eulogy next week before the city council meeting. We're gonna do a graveside service and a eulogy for the Parkersburg Sanitation Department. Yeah, yeah, I think so.
That's funny.
Can I bang on my recycle bin? I wanted to do that last night. Thank you, Ken. You have to get a thing up so we can get that out on the system.
Yeah.
What day is it?
Tuesday night, it was on Tuesday. Okay, what's the next?
Next was that, we did that, upcoming events, we did that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we're at the bingo.
Yeah, we're at bingo.
Hey, we are at bingo. We are at, those of you who just came to play bingo. We're at everybody's favorite part, bingo. Thank you all again for coming. Do we need we don't need the microphone. We need the microphone. Take it away. Take it away, bingo.
Anybody need more time? Bingo. Got dark this month, and there's a sense of humor about this all.
Bingo went dark.
Bingo went dark.
Everything under you are things you can do. A little positive on
There's a little light.
How do we play till we have two winners?
Don't ask me, I don't do, I'm not a clueless.
That sounds
All right. So, when we have a winner, don't do your phone. Unless we have two winners. Are you ready? Everybody have their free space on? Waiting for the 1,500% to show up. Can you read that other one? Space, were you able to read that one? Or I took that straight off a poem. Let's see. All right, ready?
For the concept.
I was gonna say, Lori was doing her talk. Um, I had heard somebody was interviewed, ambassador to Venezuela or something. He was saying that the oil fields are under the control of the generals, and that is their source of money. You know, they're selling the oil to Iran, Russia, China.
The generals in
Generals, yes. So it's like what oil company is going to go in there and take on the military basically.
pretty smart.
We don't have many short things like Kofevi and handshake. I took all the funny things. Didn't feel funny. Ready, Kim?
Okay.
All right, here we go. R, travel bans on shithole countries. God, I'd be reading these aloud. T, Zelensky, Oval Office meeting. That's sad, just sad. R, Arc de Trump. Arc de Trump.
That's pretty good.
Green.
That's good.
Oh,
Play cards at once, right?
T,
Please, maybe.
ice raids and deportations. Kim's new. Welcome to Kim, new member. I definitely shook these up. Defunding vaccinations. He's gonna get a bingo if I don't get some other letters. P, constantly lying. Z, M, Venezuela oil. War question mark. R, slashed clean energy support. P, flattering those who do oversight. You can do. Boycott MAGA supporters. Target, Amazon, Home Depot, Hobby Lobby. Yep.
No,
Oh, okay.
oh, no. They cut that franchise off.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was like a one-off, it was just a single.
The one local franchise, and then Hilton.
Aw.
Oh, you,
T,
Hopeful.
retribution campaign.
So, you know, we gotta make kids stay. That's a lot of hotel.
That was cool to see. I've been dealing with Comey. M, kidnaps Maduro and wife.
Anybody happen to see, I don't know, how many have the National Park Pass?
Oh,
Yes.
Park, you know, and they come up with putting the stickers over his face. Well, they come out and said, if you have that sticker over his face.
Oh, good God.
The picture has a scenery from a park.
What? You're full of, first of all.
Sure.
So they
Come back. This is so weird. T, Epstein file debacle. File with two E's. Filee debacle.
Somebody watching that Netflix special.
I can't find it. Have you found it? Okay. Yeah, that's.
I think there's something newer on Hulu. That's.
I will be through the T's eventually, and everybody's card will be solid. I predict our first bingo is gonna be all T's. Mobile Bordello.
Oval Bordello.
Probably inappropriate. Oh my gosh. So, classless. M. Well, one of the things, not this one, is Project 2025, but this one is look out for Project 2026. He sends millions of dollars to Argentina. While cutting snacks. P, wannabe dictator. P, wannabe dictator. You can help make signs. R, controlling the media. Who'd ever thought? Here. M, September 2 survivors of the boat bombing, murder. Yeah, that wasn't true. He had no problem. R, the Department of Education. Does anybody know? Is it completely gone now, parted out? Now, would that secretary then leave her job and not be paid any longer?
Hopefully.
Go back to WW wrestling. Yeah, she could play in the big events, White House lawn. P, Bitcoin, meme coin, just grift in general.
So they've applied for a banking charter. Just,
T, presidential walk of fame, shame. Make actual plaques of his nasty.
Yeah, cuts to SNAP benefits. P, he's still tilting at windmills. R, allows the ACA subsidies to lapse. R, supported Project 2025. Thing about that was going to be put in. Was there a question? Is there a joke out there that I missed?
Oh,
Jim,
did you hear about the fired a bunch of FEMA people? Have you heard anything about the impact on FEMA?
what's that?
Yeah.
Incoherent rants. Here's one about the snakes and vipers in Peru. Was that part of the Christmas message? I can't remember. Was that foreign policy?
Nobody won yet. Cause you made it too hard. Too many choices.
Nope, same number. Well, Q has a few more choices, but same. T, accepted a jet from Qatar. We'll probably have 5 winners. all the prizes, one game. M, famous words. It's not my brain. He had it not on his brain. It was not, problem is not his brain. Although, M, nap time is increasing.
Ooh, I heard an impeachment.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, that's what you call out. I was gonna ask Trish to come over and stand behind me with her eyes closed. Just get the feel of it. All right, Hannah.
I think, deportated. Off from the media, the picture, the dog. Yep, and that time, okay, and then two, one, and two.
All right. Now don't. Oh, yay. Draw one. We have 4 in a row. Do you need our lying about gasoline prices? P, Trump media. All right, what do you have? if we don't, we might have 10 winners all at once.
All right. And, oh, a new one. Dear Leader Merry-Go-Round Cabinet Meeting. Everybody has praised him. Oh my goodness. And what was it Christy Nome said? She thanked him for, was it preventing a hurricane?
Thank him for the hurricane.
The hurricane season.
Right.
And look out for Project 2026. You, take care of you. Another you, stay woke. Woke is good. Venezuela oil war. Oil war, question mark?
No, see, I think the play is Cuba.
Uh-huh. Greenland is just a distraction.
No.
Oh, he wants Greenland too.
Oh, yeah, but, I mean, you have the Czech Boys want Greenland, they have a list.
P, still tilting at windmills.
But the Venezuela will cut off Cuba.
You, stay courageous.
And of course, once you get a Trump tower that's down there in Cuba. Let's talk.
Like Gaza.
What?
On the Mediterranean, Gaza, Mediterranean resort. R, Arc to Trump.
This afternoon, somebody asked us about to put a military base. Well, that might be, we have to check with Trump on that. It's like, okay, well, let's put a ton of those there.
You, exercise.
Oh, he just makes my.
Exercise, under you. That could not be under. M, plans a wrestling event on the White House lawn.
That is the tackiest thing.
Well,
No,
Like, that's,
there's worse.
there is. That's just so, it's like bum fights.
oh yeah, Trump Kennedy Center. I think I put that on here.
Oh,
I did? Okay. FT, Epstein filee debacle.
We could have a Trump bingo game, hack Trump, and just all the text. So
Everything under T, it's just tacky. You, woke in this way, watch out, keep ever vigilant. T, I have a scream, is what somebody called his Christmas speech. Is that you, Jan? His Christmas speech.
I have a screamer. I like that.
Oh, I have a scream. Yeah, that was funny, Jan. Thank you for that. You, buy fewer pencils and dolls. Something you can do to help. P, alligator Alcatraz at all. Another U, call your U.S. and state reps and senators. Everybody should have had that one on their card. P, he allows mass ICE agents. And I was gonna put and unidentified. I didn't get it. M, cut SNAP benefits. T, the FIFA award. Since he didn't get the Nobel. U, something you can do, share the Jack Smith transcript. Got to hear any of that. R, he calls affordability a hoax. There's another. Paving over the rose garden. Oh. Someplace in the White House that he just made solid marble, floor, ceiling, wall.
Wasn't that bathroom?
Yeah, well, the bathroom, but then there was another, like a hallway. R, finally, tearing down the east wing. Oh. And somebody with the company said, yeah, we'll do that for you. We'll go and do that. Oh, I just lost one. M, it's not my brain. Not my brain. You can't win a second time, sorry. That's not a rule, but it should be, shouldn't it? Let's vote. How does the majority feel about that? Perfect.
You know, yelling it enough times, maybe it'll.
M is September 2 survivors of the boat bombing, then being murdered. T, tariffs, on, off, on, off. Tariff for you, not for you. Tariff for sale. And another T declares Antifa a terrorist organization.
I heard that you say that.
Who said that? Okay. Like that could have been my card. Do we have another view? Go for one more winner. You can help make signs.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, okay.
We're trying to,
Yeah, try something different.
play, tell
Don't.
Yeah, people seems to enjoy it. Yeah, I marked on mine. Okay, everybody, I'm going to turn the lives off here. Thank you so much, everybody who watched, shared, followed, all of that stuff. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.